Let's go.
Wednesday afternoon.
Mateta, excellent player nowadays, and one of the most popular players, not just at Palace, but in football. He's a loved Frenchman. He's brilliant, and he's 6'4" tall. And in this challenge, he was jumping. Now, the goalkeeper managed to kick him on the side of his head, so you can imagine how high the goalkeeper's foot was. He kicked the ball, but then the follow through with his foot really got to his ear, and he was out on the floor for about 13 minutes, Mateta. And the incredible thing about this was, that the referee, I suppose thought to be our top referee, Michael Oliver, he was within about 5 or 6 yards of this incident. No one in between him. It was the most, we could see from where we were, it was the most unbelievable challenge from the goalkeeper. I don't believe he came out and meant to kick him in the head, but it was reckless to the extreme. He didn't really need to be out of the area, one would think, because there were defenders there.
Yeah.
But he didn't try to head the ball. He just went in with his feet up. Incredibly, everybody in the ground, I'm sure, would have seen it's a red card straight away. Incredibly, Michael Oliver, and I don't know if he's got a reason for it, he didn't even blow for a foul.
Wow.
And of course, but he has to then stop the play because Mateta's in a heap on the floor, in some trouble, quite clearly. And then I don't believe Michael Oliver called for VAR from what the radio said, but VAR contacted him and said, look, we're going to review this. And it came up on the screen, reviewing for a red card. They then called Michael Oliver to the side to look at the what had actually happened, and of course he comes back and says it's a red card, and the goalkeeper was trudged off, and absolutely right. And in fact, I think you'll find, I mean, the FA, they actually want there to be a longer ban than the usual 3-match red card ban, because it was so exceptional and so dangerous. Now he was eventually taken off on a stretcher, taken to hospital, and he had to have, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. The owner or the chairman of Palace, Steve Parish, did a half-time interview with the BBC and called it the worst challenge he's ever seen in football. And I think I would say that for myself. I've never seen anything quite like it. And Parish indicated he could have killed him. Because if he got him face on, he'd have probably blinded him with the studs or the little, they're like little knives, aren't they? Instead of studs nowadays, they're blades.
Yeah.
So he could have been blinded or worse.
Yeah.
As it was, I think it almost sliced his ear off, and he had to have 25 stitches.
Wow.
And thankfully, I mean, they're monitoring him, but he came out of hospital, and he seems to be okay. I think the goalkeeper and the owners of Millwall reached out to him and offered their condolences, as they should have done. But it was a strange start to the game, because there was a lot of concern for Mateta as to what might have happened. We didn't know exactly how he would be, and it sort of took the edge off of the game. But it wasn't pleasant, and there is a bit of unpleasant rivalry between Palace and Millwall, even though we're not in the same division. Probably a good thing, but there's always been a bit of that, and not that I'm saying that was why this incident happened, but there was no sympathy from their crowd shown to the player who was clearly very badly injured. Whereas very often when someone's taken off on a stretcher, all fans, opposition and home fans, they applaud in sympathy, but that didn't happen. And it was an uncomfortable feeling.
Soft family and the ladies, Dr. Gladys and Phantom and Rose. We all have a lovely show every weekday, so join us for a lovely show.
Say hello to Phantom, Dr. Glad.
Home fans, they applaud in sympathy, but that didn't happen. And it was an uncomfortable feeling, really. But anyway, Palace went on to win, which I think was probably a just result. I mean, you would expect the Premier League team to beat the Championship team, and that's what's happened. So yes, now Palace will be away to Fulham, which I should go to in whenever it's going to be. I think towards the end of April, is it?
April,
end of March or April, I can't remember. But yeah, it was a strange beginning to an otherwise decent match. But yeah, and the only legacy for me is, and as I say, I think Michael Oliver is generally a very good referee, and it seems most unlike him to not only miss a red card, but to not even blow for a foul. People wondered, I think, a couple of weeks ago, you may remember, he sent someone off quite quickly for a foul, and that red card was subsequently overturned, and it may have knocked his confidence, but to not even blow for a foul, and the result is that the way the referee people punish, if you like, a ref for getting a bad decision is by not giving them a game the next weekend. And it was announced yesterday that Michael Oliver won't get a game this coming weekend because clearly they thought there's no obvious excuse for why he didn't give the red card but not even give a foul. It's a great mystery. It's a great mystery whether it was in his mind he was a bit premature a couple of weeks before and that red card was overturned. Who knows? But it was weird because he seemed to have a perfect view of this shocking incident. You know, if you see a goalkeeper flying out with his feet up there like a wrestling kick, you know, you don't just wave play on. But that's what happened, and it's a mystery as to why. I like to think in those circumstances, a referee or the referee's people might come out with some sort of explanation, because there must be an explanation why Michael Oliver, our top referee, didn't even deem it worthy of a foul. Had he lost concentration? It was a bright sunny day. Was the sun in his eyes? All sorts of things that could possibly explain that. And if it were me, and I think, well, people obviously want to know why I did that or didn't blow for it, I'd want to explain that. There must be a reason why he didn't. He's a good referee, the top referee. So it's a mystery, but I don't suppose any explanation will be forthcoming, which is strange. But anyway, all's well that ends well. Hopefully Mateta will make a full recovery. I don't believe he'll be playing in our game at home to Ipswich on Saturday. I'm sure he won't be, but hopefully he'll be ready for the
South family and the ladies, Dr. Gladys and Phantom and Rose. We all have a lovely show every weekday, so join us for a lovely show.
Say hello to Phantom